Saturday, March 14th. Actually, St. Patty's Day weekend. We're going to see the Fighting Irish get it on. That's right, from Dublin, Ireland. We're going to get a chance to see a Queensberry promotion where in a doubleheader, we're going to see Dickens versus Cacace. Yeah, that's James Jazza Dickens taking on Anthony Cacace. This is a fight for the super featherweights. These two men are coming together to mix it up in Dublin in a Queensberry promotion. There should be a firefight because they are the type of fighters fighting out of that region that bring a lot of heat to the fanfare where boxing comes from Europe. Now, in the case of Dickens, he is 34 years of age. He's a southpaw fighter that's 5'5" with a 63-inch reach. He boasts a record of 36 wins, 5 losses, no draws, 15 KOs. He's been stopped 4 times. Dickens is out of Liverpool, the UK. But he's a hard-nosed fighter. He brings it. And he's very physical. He's physically strong, even though he's a slight man in comparison with the likes of Cacace, who is the WBA featherweight title holder. You see, Cacace is now 24 wins, 1 loss, 9 KOs. Nicknamed the Apache. He's 37, and he's fighting out of Belfast, Northern Ireland. You know, he is famous for having given Josh Warrington and Joe Cordina lessons in the boxing ring back to back. It began when he faced Joe Cordina in May of 2024 in Riyadh season. And that was for, at the time, the IBF and IBO super featherweight titles, where Cordina held those titles. He had Cordina down in the 3rd round and went on to stop him in the 8th, becoming the champion. He followed that up with a unanimous decision victory over Josh Warrington in September of the same year, but at that time was defending only the IBO super featherweight title. That was followed up with a 9th round stoppage over Leigh Wood, a common opponent for both men. And Wood was stopped in the 9th round, but kept getting up by the ropes, but his corner threw in the towel to stop the fight. So that brings us now to Dickens. And in Dickens' most recent bouts, he has had a turn of events where he found himself in his last fight against Albert Batir Gazayev, a fight where he fought in Istanbul. It was a hard-nosed fight there, but he ended up stopping Albert in the 4th round. He had him down twice on the canvas. That was preceded by a win over Zelfa Barrett and then Eduardo Macedo. But it was going back to his fight over Leigh Wood back in February of 2020. He had a unanimous, well, it was a majority win decision over Leigh Wood, and that was for the WBO European featherweight title at the time. So both of these men are battle tested, but I do admit that when you think about it, the one who has had the most revealing opponents for his career to develop where he has arrived is Cacace. Now, Cacace is someone that I am beginning to have doubts about, because even though he's 37 now, after his win over Cordina, I thought he would be looking to face some of the other top fighters in the division, but he has kind of shunned away, and that leads me to believe that he kind of enjoys being a big fish in a small pond. Well, sometimes when you're existing on similar circumstances where it can be compared to being just that, you can get drowned in those shallow waters. And if anything and anyone could do that, it could possibly be Dickens, because Zaffa he's a physical guy, physical sort, and Cacace, though he has the extremities over him, it's still a situation where will Dickens be able to wear him down? Because Cacace, who stands 5'10" and is rather lanky, he never has presented himself as a physically strong guy, but he's been able to box and hold opponents at distance. And the low knockout ratio tells us that he does not go for the knockout, but you have to be careful because he can catch you. Those thin and reedy guys, the bone density assists with them surprising people. But because of the physical nature of Dickens, I don't think that's going to be a factor here. Dickens is going to get in his chest, and he's going to bore in and wade in and try to wear Cacace out. And Cacace, since he has turned down opportunities against other stellar talent in the division, again, like I said, I'm thinking a little less of him after he had gained my confidence with those wins over the likes of Joe Cordina and Josh Warrington. So here we have it with these two men, and they're going to bring the best that they can in this fight. I'm favoring Dickens in this fight, but that doesn't mean that he is a shoo-in, but I do favor him. Now, when you think of the co-main, it's going to be Pierce or Leary taking on Maxie Hughes. And that's going to be a super lightweight bout where both of these men, O'Leary is definitely from Ireland and Maxie Hughes from the UK. Hughes has had his share of ups and downs, losing his most recent fight, a majority decision, to Bahadur Usmanov. And O'Leary, his most recent fight in December was against Brian Esquiel Rona. He had a KO in that fight. But these two will probably give the attendants some action to cheer for. I favor O'Leary because he's the fresher fighter at 18 wins and no losses. He's 26 years of age and an orthodox fighter. Hughes, who's now 36, is a southpaw, and though he has 30 plus fights, I believe that Hughes has seen better days, but he also has seen better opponents. So if he comes in and decides to use his experience, that's where he's going to have a tremendous advantage. Let's not forget that he did face the likes of George Kambosos in July of 2023, and in March of 2024, the likes of William Zepeda. So that's a great deal of experience that could assist him against the upstart in O'Leary. Altogether, this fight card will be broadcast on Dazn, a St. Patrick's Day gym for the Irish. If you like to watch the Irish fighters, you can catch them on Dazn. But I'll ask you, how do you see it going? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about this fight and these men coming together for this outstanding, fisticuff-laden matchup. Leave comments and let's discuss further. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.